Day 126, verses 11 to 13, Gathering Within. Namaste and welcome to Gita 360. The last few verses have invited us to look beyond the final moment of life and towards the lifelong preparation that makes that moment meaningful. Today, the verses introduce the path taken by those who dedicate their entire lives to that preparation, revealing the practice of turning inward at the final moment of life. Scholars of the Vedas describe him as imperishable. Great ascetics practice the vow of celibacy and renounce worldly pleasures to attain him. I shall explain to you briefly the path to that goal. The Gita speaks of an imperishable goal pursued by seekers who know the Vedas and have freed themselves from attachment to practice self-restraint and celibacy. The verses promise to explain this path briefly and clearly. It's significant that before speaking about the path, the verse speaks of the goal. A destination gives meaning to the journey. Without it, even the greatest discipline can become an end in itself. With it, every sincere path begins to point in the same direction. Restraining all the gates of the body and fixing the mind in the heart region, and then directing the life breath to the crown of the head, one becomes established in the practice of yoga. Every experience enters our lives through the senses. Left unattended, those impressions continue to occupy the mind long after the moment has passed. A mind seeking the eternal cannot remain endlessly occupied with what is passing. This is perhaps why this verse speaks about restraining the mind and the senses, drawing the mind back into the heart and establishing the life force at the crown of the head. The verse describes far more than a posture of meditation. It describes a mind that has gradually learned to grow quiet. The doors of the senses are not forcibly shut. They close naturally when the heart has found something far more precious within. Drawing the mind into the heart points to a shift from the endless chaos in our head to the quiet stillness of pure awareness. The mind then no longer follows every passing thought. Even the breath becomes quiet and centered. Uttering the sacred syllable Om, which signifies Brahman, and remembering me while departing from the body, one attains the supreme destination. In the state of deep focus and mindfulness, the sacred syllable Om appears, representing the simplest expression of a lifetime of remembrance. Throughout life, the mind generates millions of words, thoughts, and worries. At the end, everything distills down to a single sound, a single thought, a single focus. Om. Remembering the Supreme at the final moment is not presented as a sudden effort or a last-minute achievement. The final remembrance is possible because the heart has learned it long before the final breath. A meaningful conversation needs more than just hearing the words. It needs undivided attention. When the mind keeps wandering towards unfinished tasks, worries, or thoughts, we may hear every sentence but still miss what is being said. Real listening begins only when our attention gathers in one place. Perhaps that is why these verses move from the senses to the mind, from the mind to the breath, and finally to Om. They describe the quiet gathering of our attention until there is nothing pulling us in different directions. In that absolute stillness, remembrance becomes as natural as listening to someone we truly love. When we learn to quiet the constant noise of the senses, even for a few moments each day, we begin to discover the stillness that has always been present within us. Then, when life's final moment arrives, remembrance is no longer something we have to struggle for. It has already become the natural rhythm of the heart. Thought of the day. The heart remembers most deeply when nothing within it is divided. What is drawing my attention away from what matters most? Thank you for joining me on Gita 360. May we learn to gather our scattered attention, quiet the noise within, and return each day to what is eternal.